Hey, my lovely Willow Vibes tribe members. I am Jessica from Willow Vines Intuitive Vibes, and I'm here to do a collective message. So like the videos, comment, share, and don't forget to subscribe to join the tribe. And thank you to everyone who has. So, I was trying to do a pre-shuffle, and every single deck that I picked up, I'd start shuffling, and then I'd be like, nope, not that one. No, I'll do this one. Nope, not that one. So it's like, it feels like making changes for one, but it's when something doesn't feel right, I'm gonna let it go. So regarding a person, situation, or anything, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Nah, never mind, not that one. I'm not feeling it. So I kind of feel something like that going on for someone where it's like, yay, wait, maybe not. Maybe I should do something else or something different or be around somebody else, no matter what it is. Because someone is spending a lot of time alone, but it doesn't feel like lonely energy necessarily, even if that's in there from time to time. It feels more like spending time alone so that you can work through whatever you got to work through, so you can work on something, work on yourself, do shit for yourself. Because I don't know about you, but I love me time when I can, even if I'm doing nothing. It's just like sitting in your own energy sometimes is so freeing, especially when you've got a million things to do. You're always being pulled in a million directions, you know what I mean? When that happens, it's just nice to be like, it's just me today. So I feel that energy going on for someone where either you need that or you're enjoying that time. That's how we process shit too and figure out our next steps, whatever, as well. I almost feel like I got so much going on now. Like, I feel excited to talk. I feel excited. Someone's coming out of their shell. So there's someone who is in hermit mode. Even if it's not you, it could be someone around you that could be coming towards you, where they've done some soul searching, spent time alone, healing, whatever. But I feel like I'm not talking to anyone. I'm not even on social media. And if I am, no one's going to know what the hell's going on in my world. And then now I'm so excited. I got so much shit to say. I'm ready to come back out. So someone's going to reintroduce themselves or come out of hiding. Healer. Some of you could be healers, but I feel like someone was taking time to work on themselves, and now that they got a few things lined up, figured out, whatever, they're on a motherfucking roll. Yeah, truth. I'm speaking to a truth teller, I'm just going to say, but it's not just about the truth, finding out the truth or knowing it or anything like that, or being told the truth. It's seeking it within yourself. So internal guidance and advice versus listening to what everybody else has to say is guiding someone in the right direction, which is kind of weird because on Willow's wisdom, it was about improper guidance or being careful who and what is guiding you. So I kind of feel like that's where that solitude's coming in. Either you've already experienced that and now you're, ready to take those steps forward and do whatever it is that you're doing, or that's what you need to do in order to figure something out. There's healing knowledge here as well. Some of you could be researching herbs, and what they do for like medicinal purposes and shit like that, or rituals, spell work, ancient knowledge, going over history, no matter what history that is, to help you forge your path. Because, okay, this is what's reminding me of. Because what's kind of weird is I watched this History of the Witches. I don't know, that's not what it's called, but it's kind of like that, but it wasn't just one group of people. It was throughout history. It had the ancient Egyptians in there. I mean, it went through medieval times and everything, and all the way up, like different groups of people who were thought to be quote-unquote witches, even before the witch trials and stuff like that. That was in there too. But when it came to kind of New Age, and I saw a New Life, which is what just reminded me of this, when it came to New Age practices, it wasn't segregated, which actually some of during history, it wasn't always segregated, like it was pulling from multiple faiths into one, depending on the group. But that's kind of what's going on now, or a lot of quote-unquote New Age witches, people who are in that energy, they pull from many faiths. As spirituality, basically. I guess that's what you could label it as. But it's learning about multiple things, multiple subject matters, history, and kind of figuring out where you fit in all of that. So someone might be doing that. Like, where do I belong? What do I believe? Who am I? Why am I here? You know, questions like that only you can answer, and you'll be led towards this knowledge, towards this information, if it's for you, and it will resonate. Like, have you ever just watched something, even if it was just on the History Channel or YouTube or whatever, and it was about a certain time period or a group of people or a faith or whatever, and you didn't know anything about it at first, and then you're going, wait a minute, that's how I feel, that's how I believe. This resonates with me for some reason. It could be past life experiences, that's why it's resonating with you, or that's just part of what you need to integrate into your everyday, into your life. You know, some aspect of whatever that is for you, it's important to you, and that's why it resonates. Yeah, somebody's coming across information and it's just clicking for them. It's like, this is me. This is for me. Even if it's a reading, but this feels like, it doesn't feel like predictive energies or anything like that, that someone's coming across that's going, oh my goodness. It's like, I think that's who I am. Or, I don't know, that makes sense to me. It's something like that. So you're reading something, seeing something, hearing something that's making perfect sense for you, even if it doesn't make a lick of sense to anybody else. Recognition, you're recognizing something from a past life or many past lives. You could have had a dream about this even. Okay, I'm going to share this just because I feel like a lot of you resonate. And I've shared this dream before, and I'm not going into like great detail of it, but it's something like this where you feel like you've done it, like that it's part of you, because it is, especially if you feel that way, and it does pertain to past life knowledge. Some of you are waking up to what your soul already knows from previous lifetimes. And things are making more sense, or they will be making more sense to you coming up, because you're recognizing something. And this isn't another person recognizing this in you and telling you this. This is you going, you've been thinking about it, or wondering, or like, where's this coming from? Why do I feel so connected to this subject matter, these things, like whatever. Okay, I know that I've been a healer throughout multiple lifetimes. Just that energy, I don't know, I feel like the reason why it comes so easily to me, I guess, and even though I've struggled, it's just natural, is what I want to say. Because it feels so natural, it's within me. But anyways, I've had dreams about this shit before, and one in particular was kind of a witchy dream, but I didn't look like a hocus pocus witch, you know what I mean? I was a healer, and a lot of healers throughout history were labeled witches, depending on where you lived and whatever. Because it's because the word witch stems from the word Wicca, or Wiccan, and it means knowledge. You're knowledgeable, you're a wise seer, something along those lines. So that's where the word stems from anyways. So a lot of witches are knowledgeable in herbs, in medicine, in whatever, you know, in healing practices and stuff like that other people weren't at the time, and probably still aren't, depending. That knowledge wasn't as easily accessible way back when, and it is now. Then it is now. I can't speak. But anyways, in this dream, I was a healer, and I feel like that this was part of a struggle that I had to learn in this lifetime, is like letting go and realizing that you can't help everyone. And I do say that on here because I was always that type of person where I want to help no matter what, and if I can't save someone, help them or whatever, it would bother me. It would really fucking bother me. It doesn't anymore because I have a better understanding, and through trial and error and lessons, you know, we all have to learn them no matter what they are. And that was not an easy one for me, because I can't fix everything or everyone, and that's a hard pill to swallow sometimes, especially if you want to. You know, the best of intentions are just that, if somebody doesn't want it. So anyways, in that dream, I was a healer, so I would help everyone you know, in the village, wherever the hell I was. And it was a very rural area. It was kind of like a field. There was woods, but it was open, grassy, in a very tiny house. I think the structure was made out of wood. I don't know if it's wood and stone or a mixture of both or just one or the other. I can't remember those many details. But anyways, my son, not my son. Oh, maybe my son was my daughter in a past life. But anyways, my daughter and my husband in this dream, in this past life, were sick with something. And I couldn't help them. They died. And then I ended up, you know, grief-stricken, basically. And I had, this was the weird part, is I had climbed, there was a big rock, like a boulder, out behind the house or something, the little place, and I climbed up on that rock and witch trialed my own ass, basically. We'll just leave it at that. And in that, it was so real and so vivid, because when I woke up, I couldn't breathe. I was like, and my second ex-husband now, he was there and he couldn't pick me up. He's like, it was like 1,000 pounds, like you weighed 1,000 pounds, like something was holding me down. And I finally came out of it, but I literally could not breathe. Like it was happening, the dream was happening again. It is something like that, even if it's not a witch dream or healer dream or anything like that. It's just, it feels very real. And it could have woken you up in a weird way like that, where whatever was going on in the dream, you felt like you were experiencing as you were waking up. That would be a very significant dream to pay attention to for yourself. And only you will know what that dream is and what it means to you. It's something like that, where a dream like that, or many dreams like that, are going to start making sense as to why you had them in the first place. And you're going to be able to connect it for yourself. Okay. So yeah, this ancient knowledge here, it's like being woken up within you through seeing and hearing and coming across different things. It's almost like a moment of deja vu. Like, say for instance, you see a crow just fly, and all of a sudden you just feel like you have a memory. You might not know what that memory is, but it just feels very familiar. And it's like, why does this moment feel so familiar? It might not be the moment. It could be the crow was a trigger for a memory that you didn't know you had. You know? I'm not saying that's what deja vu is, but it would feel like that. Transparency. I feel like a lot of you are being honest with yourselves. You're being more transparent with yourself, because a lot of people do lie to themselves. And it's like, why? You know you're lying. Your higher self knows, spirit knows, whatever. But we do it because we don't want to face certain things. So I feel like you're not only being more authentic and transparent with those around you, I feel like you're mainly being transparent with you. Like owning up to your fuck-ups, taking responsibility for the things that you need to, and letting go of the shit that you can't control, basically. It's like allowing yourself to realize that it's okay that certain things don't work out, they don't go according to plan, whatever. That we don't always get what we want. We do get what we need, though. This information came to you in a very weird way, or it is, like, and it feels like in spurts. So over time, this has been happening and coming to you, and you probably didn't understand it at first. Like, well, that's weird, I don't know what the hell this is about. And then when it finally clicks and you go, oh my, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that was what that was. That's kind of what I'm feeling here. Bridge. You're linked together with another person. But I feel like your lifetimes are linked together. Because I'm seeing that, is it called a helix or something? The DNA symbol. Something's in your DNA. It's in your blood. But you're linked together. You're linked together with someone from the ancient past. Like ancient history. Somewhere down the line, there's a very prominent figure that you're linked to. Yeah, my light just flashed. And that person's protecting you. Because that person isn't living. It's not like you're reincarnated, like from whoever this is. No, this person's linked to you. I don't know. You're tied to this energy. There we go. They're helping you follow your path. I just heard because you got distracted along the way. It happens. So whoever this is, to you, you probably are totally unaware of like who it is, because it's not like a distant relative or anything. This would be like way back when. It would be like a soul tie is what it feels like. You're connected to a higher being. We'll just leave it at that. And that being, that energy is leading you on the correct path, but I feel like you got distracted. What did you get distracted by? Love could have distracted you. Someone. I don't know if more than one person was trying to distract you, but I feel like you got distracted by someone else, by somebody else's energy, by their intentions, their wants, their life, whether they were in yours or not. Love distracted you. Which, yeah, that's pretty common, just saying. Because it doesn't feel like a bad relationship, even if you've gone through bad relationships where you know, when you fall in love with someone, you find out they're a shitbag, but you still love them and you put up with their crap. That's not what I'm feeling here. It feels like I'm on track I'm learning something, I'm doing something, I'm whatever. I'm focused on me and this. And then all of a sudden, this loving feeling with so-and-so pops up, and now I'm super focused on whoever the hell that is. You know, like, it doesn't mean that you stop doing something. I feel like there were delays here. You got distracted. It's like you're walking along, you're like, oh yeah, oh, squirrel. That kind of thing. That's what it feels like. So whoever this is, this energy, they're trying to get you back on track. I feel like you already are back on track. For the most part. That's what I just heard. So for the most part, you're back on track. These Halloween cards. Infinite possibilities. This person's waking you up to the too many different possibilities that are out there, like the opportunities that are headed your way. I feel like they're trying to open your eyes so that you can see. It's not just so that you have better direction. It's so that you can see what would be best for you, because it's not just one path. I feel like I'm taking like 4 paths all at once. Like I'm walking down these pathways at the same time all at once. Like I just divided up, like my multiplicity type shit without, you know, there being any issues. It's like your energy's going in many directions, which doesn't feel bad or chaotic. It feels like no matter what you choose, it's right, because they're all good. So basically all these opportunities that you're being shown are beautiful and would work for you, and they'd work out and be wonderful. Like there's no wrong choice here. That's why I see myself doing it all at once. Some of you could have gone through something all at once, dealt with something all at once. Maybe that's where the hermit pull away energy is. Invisibility, authenticity. I feel like a lot of you are keeping certain things to yourself, which is totally fine and normal. It's usually a good thing. You've remained hidden. It's like the cloak of invisibility. It's weird because I feel like I said before, I'm talking to a truth teller. And if you're a truth teller, like, I don't know, I feel like you're in your you're yourself. You're being yourself, your authentic self. You're not being fake or anything like that. That's not what I'm feeling. But It's like the world or the people around you haven't even seen the true you, even though you're showing the true you. Okay, so you're not... What's really special about you, I guess, is still hidden. Because however you're living your life, whatever you're doing and saying with people around you, you're not lying about it. You're not pretending to fit into this group, that group, whatever. You are marching to the beat of your own drum, doing your own thing. You're being authentic. And I feel that 100%. But there's more. There's an aspect of you that's hidden, is what this is making me think of. And it's coming out. There's something within you that you've suppressed, downplayed. It's like downplaying your talents when you're really good at something and like people know that you're good at it, but they don't know how good you are. That's what this feels like, no matter what it is. So yeah, you're being honest, but you haven't even shown anyone what you're fully capable of. That's what's coming. And it doesn't matter what choice you make, which path you choose, it's gonna work out. And it's like this is inevitable. It's gonna happen anyways. You're gonna be the best at whatever this is. And I hate saying that because no one's really the best out of every single person, but you're gonna be damn good. You're gonna be on the top tier with whatever this is. Once it comes out, yeah, there's something that's like festering inside, and it's not bad. It's a talent. It's something that's in your DNA. And I feel like whatever this is, it could even be, you know, your intuition, psychic abilities, things like that as well. But whatever it is, I feel like it was suppressed and hidden away unintentionally. It's for protection purposes, because you weren't ready to unleash the beast. You know what I mean? You weren't ready to unleash this power from within. You needed to gain strength and courage and learn some things first. Because what is it? With great power comes great responsibility. And in Willow's wisdom reading, I was talking about how there was a high priestess energy where they're losing their gifts and abilities. Like if they were able to read for people and really pick up on stuff, it's going away because they had bad intentions. They went against the free will of someone, or many, I don't know. It's someone that can happen when power and well, not really control, but when power gets to your head. And even the most kind-hearted person, the most honest person or people in the world, that can still kind of take over and lead you astray and make you do things that you wouldn't usually do or normally do. So it's like this is coming in bits, it's coming in doses, and I feel like you're ready. Spirit's going to unlock this, because you're not the one that locked this away. You're not pretending. That's why I was so confused, or why it was so hard to say that you're being your true self, that you're not lying about who you are, but you kind of are, but you're not, because you're unaware. Or you were. This bridge to pure happiness is the bridge to oneself. It doesn't have anything to do with anyone else. It has to do with your journey and living it authentically and not giving a fuck what people think, their judgments, their ridicule, their anything, even their praise. Just knowing that the path that you're on, or that you're headed on, that you're gonna be on, it isn't because of how liked or loved you are. It isn't because of how hated you are. It's because of who you are and what you're capable of and what you're going to achieve. There's a purpose here, and it has nothing to do with anyone else. That is really great, though. Give me one of these. something's being set free. It doesn't feel like you or a person. Something is being set free. Something. You know what's weird? You know what's making me think of? I don't know why, because I don't even know where this would come from, or I don't really know what it's about, but I remember hearing it somewhere a long time ago. It's like, okay, you know what's making me think of is when there's, I don't know, they would be ancient beings, okay? So angels, because you know the devil's a fallen angel, but this doesn't feel happy. It feels like even if these beings aren't evil, there's vengeance within them, whoever they are, whatever they are. And okay, it's something like that. So picture that. And they're chained up. They're like chained down somewhere where they can't escape. Like, you know, you're protected when you have a ring of salt around you, and you know, different things can kind of banish evil, hold it down, whatever. It's something like that where they couldn't get out of wherever they are. It's like a sense of banishment is what it feels like. Sounds like, at least. So they're banished away, and it was not only for their own good, it was for the best of everything and everyone. And then somebody releasing them. Like release, like I just said, you're going to release the beast. It's an inner power. Because in my mind, I'm picturing it like as if I'm watching a TV show and I'm seeing these beings, you know, whether they have wings or not, but it would be mythical, you know, like we don't see this shit every day kind of thing. It's in storybooks, that type of thing. That's what's playing in my mind when I'm picturing what I'm trying to say. But if you think about it, energy can get locked into human form as well. And some people might call it possession, because in a sense it kind of is. But I feel like whatever this ain't for everyone. And some of you are going to laugh at this or think it's fucking weird. But I don't know who or why or what or whatever, but this is what I'm feeling. It's what's coming up. It's like a being, a very powerful being who is pissed, basically wants vengeance, retribution or something along those lines for whatever the fuck happened, for being chained away, is coming out. And you can look at that metaphorically as well. But I feel like it's within a person. But it's not just one person. It's within a few people all over the world. This isn't going to be like your demonic possessions like you see on TV and shit. It won't be anything like that. It feels like power. Invisible power. Like shit that comes out, I don't know, it's just going to come out of nowhere. Because I did say somebody's going to open up and release their power, basically. Release the beast. Something within someone is not going to be contained anymore. I don't know, this might be a little shocking for whoever's going to happen to, or for those around them. It's just weird because it doesn't feel like, I was going to say it doesn't feel like it will go noticed, but I feel like it won't go unnoticed. And it's going to be multiple people. But they're not going to be acting crazy, like, not like that. Strange things are going to start happening with these people, and it's not an attack on whoever these people are. It's outward, like it's coming from somewhere else. It's coming from someone else. The past returns for a time. Well, there's the ancient shit I'm talking about. And Poe, time for change, to learn something new, to use technology and gadgets with wisdom. Some of you might have a strong interest in certain subject matters because whatever's within you, if that applies, I don't think you'd be aware of it. I really don't. That's what they, I don't know if that's their knowledge that they're showing you or if that's what they want to know. I feel like they'd already know. They're leading you to it so that you do know. Yeah. Some of you are being led to certain information, like how I started this reading, regardless of what I was talking about. But there's, I don't know, something weird. That's a spiritual thing, definitely, energetically, whatever. Mind control. I keep hearing that. Mind control, which the media does that too. So that's not out of the realm of possibilities with anything. But if you think about it, like say I'm deep within you, not in a not in that kind of way, but in a spiritual sense, like I'm just a soul, I'm whatever, and then I'm hidden within you, and I want you to know what I know. So I'm going to lead you to that information so you have it, so you retain it, so you know it, so you can utilize it for whatever fucking reason. There's a significant reason, but it doesn't feel selfish for some reason. It's not you. Definitely. It's not the person, it's not the conduit who's doing this for a particular reason. It's like the bug in their ear. It's spirit doing it, basically. For a higher purpose. For a bigger reason. Oh my gosh, you know what I'm seeing in my head now? I don't know, this happened like in wars and throughout history. Whenever leaders, whether they were a leader of a church or not, if they didn't want people to know certain knowledge, certain information, they would burn the books. Because that's all they had back then. They didn't have fucking media and shit. They would burn the information because then it only gets passed down for so long before it gets convoluted, like the game of telephone. So if I tell my kids, they'll only remember a little bit of it, but they'll share what they remember, and then it gets forgotten over time. That's going on currently, I'm just gonna say, in societies, but especially with the school systems and shit, it's with an agenda. But that's what happens. There's someone from the past, spiritually, who is leading you to certain information so that you retain it and know it. Even if you don't pass it along generation to generation, some of you might end up writing this stuff down if it comes to you. But it's for you to know so you don't forget. Don't forget history. Something's coming. Something's gonna happen that's already happened. The other weird thing with that witch thing I told you I was watching, the histories of it, different time periods, when it came to the Salem witch trials and even over in Europe and stuff, it was mass hysteria, it was paranoia and control, retaliation. There were so many factors there that it was like the perfect storm, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I can't find the right words. And yes, I'm wearing 1692. You missed one. Or they missed one. But anyways, it's not about the shirt I'm wearing. I'm wearing this for 2 days. Anyways, it happens. That's what created all of that. It was mass hysteria it was basically born out of fear and thrived and grew out of greed and corruption and control, power and control. Because whoever the mayor, the fucking pastor person, whoever the hell it was, in Salem at the time had control over the Puritans, basically, and they were very devout in their faith, and it was this or that, black or white, no in between. It's either God's gonna save you or the devil's gonna eat you, basically, gonna get you. And witches were the devil. And it was just all based off from a lie. Because I think it was the pastor or the preacher dude's fucking kids, his daughters, that were having hallucinations and acting all crazy like they were possessed and shit, but it was because of the mold in the bread. I can't remember what it's called, but that can cause that, and it did a lot back then. But anyways, it was all based off from a lie, and that motherfucker had an agenda, because just look at the people, like the chain of people that were attacked in that, and why, where it started, and then just festered, just thinking, especially there. But okay, that would be a point in history that's significant, because we don't want mass hysteria. We don't want that shit to happen again in any situation. But I kind of feel like something like that might happen again. I'm not saying people are going to, like, witch hunts and shit, not that. In a different form. Because a lot of people don't think about when we say don't allow history to repeat itself, remember history, it always repeats itself, but in a different way. So if you don't look into it, if you don't understand, if you don't know, it will repeat in the same way, or it won't, people won't see it to stop it in time, because it's taken a different form. I don't know if that makes any fucking sense, but that's very strong in this energy. Remember the past. You don't have to live in the past, but fucking remember it, know it, learn it, and don't repeat it. I feel like I'm chastising someone now. Don't repeat it. Impossible things. Working through disbelief. Imaginative leaps and fresh perspective. Yeah, someone needs to change their perspective, but I kind of feel like they are. Like, that makes sense. People are they're natural born followers. They follow the lead of whoever's liked the most of the time. Not everyone, but the majority do. There's very few leaders in the world, like actual true leaders. And there are plenty that try to become that way, but they just never gain a following. And I'm not talking about YouTube. I'm talking about, great leaders of the fucking world. They all got to where they were or where they are, not just for a reason, but because people naturally follow out of fear, or because they agree. There's a million reasons. It's making me think of Hale, silly mustache man. He was actually a very intelligent individual, because you can't be stupid to be able to control that many fucking people and to get to where he got. Even though he had crap intentions, it was horrible. Something like that's going on. I don't know. It doesn't even just feel like it's in the U.S., because you could say that about the government and stuff. You really could. Because I kind of feel that in here. But it's not just about that. It's in more than one place. It's across the fucking world. And it doesn't just pertain to well-known leaders either. It's when you can rally your own troops up for this, that, or whatever. Like the militia and shit, I'm rallying people up for the cause. Whatever that cause is, whether it's good or bad. I don't know, something's happening again. That's more global, massive versus individual. Need more on this, please. There's a need for things to change around, and they need to change fast. If they don't change quick, they'll change regardless, but not in the way people want. You know what I mean? Like, there'll be no choice, emperor, which is a leader, like I was talking about. It's almost like if change isn't made now, if these changes don't occur, if they don't happen, the changes that are coming won't be able to be undone because of control, because of some type of leadership. because of authority. I just heard if you're a free thinker now, you won't be able to be one. It's kind of what that feels like. That's kind of scary. I don't know, that's scary. It's making me think of like a cult type things, like a cult. But this isn't a cult. It's following the wrong leader because of control and intimidation. Because of I did say people are naturally born followers or whatever, either because they're interested, they want it, they accept it, or out of fear, out of intimidation. I guess that's what's coming. Many people are going to be intimidated or pushed into, controlled into following suit with something they shouldn't be. And it's visible. It's right in front of your eyes. That ain't spirit. That's a person. It's more than one, but there's a leader here. Who's trying to control knowledge. Yeah, trying to control the information that you see, that you hear, that you can attain or find. You better look it up now or figure it out now before this goes, I don't know. That could be why you're being prompted to just retain all this information to save things. Don't burn the past. Don't burn the past. Alright, give me a little bit more on this leader, this control. Because this isn't a relationship and shit. That, like I said, this is like worldwide. I don't know. It's not even just in the U.S. kind of thing. A lot of conflict. We're going to see a lot of fighting, a lot of disagreements between areas and people. Like, that's what's leading up to this. And it's not just, oh, I don't agree with you. I like this. You know, when it comes to like the Republican Party, Democrat Party, Independent, whatever, talking about religion and politics is a very touchy subject for a lot of people because some people get really fucking fired up. They literally, you know, people over it because they get butthurt. But that's like what I'm feeling, like major disagreements over your views, over differing views. Like, oh, you're not with me, you're against me. Instead of going, oh, I just disagree. That's what's leading up to this shit. That's probably what's going on. Stress, turbulence, tension, and arguments. That's what this leader's creating. Tension. Like, okay, because if you create a stressful environment for people or a group, no matter how big or small the group is, if you put the pressure on where times are tough, the stress, you know, life stressors, I don't have enough money, I can't afford to eat, I can't afford this, I can't afford that. If you create those problems, you can come in like the knight in shining armor and fucking fix those problems. Because these problems are all fucking made up. Like, they're man-made problems, basically. So it's like, oh, you're stressed, you're worried, follow me. That's what these political parties do, just saying, follow me, and I will fix that for you. I will make it all better. That's just a tactic to rope your ass in. That's what that is. It's for control. It's the promise of a great future. It's a promise of beautiful things. It's the promise of what's scary here? It's the promises of a better fucking world, I guess. I don't know. But it's what's scary is with a lot of politicians and stuff, it's like no matter where you are, they make 1,000,001 promises that they never keep, or they say that they tried but they couldn't. And then you've got whoever this is, this leader person, who's creating this distress ultimately. Because I don't know if this leader's actually creating the stress. They could be. Or they're just kind of feeding off from it. It's just energy. But what was I saying with that? Empty promises. What's scary is this person might keep their promises, but everything comes with a price. It's almost like, I promise this, I promise that, whatever, whatever the hell is being promised here to make people flock towards them. And then the flock follows. And this person's like, I made all this beautiful change. And they do, so you can't, like, counteract it, I guess. So you can't say anything about it because it's really, that this person said something and then they did it. They kept their word, which builds trust. And I'm not saying that this person would take it all away, but they have an agenda. Because, like, I don't know, it's like that, cult leaders do that, where it's brainwashing in a sense. It really is. And that happens over time. It's not just immediate, This was all pre-planned. Whatever the fuck it is, it's been pre-planned. Because in order to gain a following, you have to be liked. You have to give people a reason to like you, to want to be there, to want to be on your side. This person's going to do that. And then every single follower is going to regret it. Because there's an agenda here. I don't know what the agenda is, but it's an agenda. That looks like the plague mask sitting on top of his head. I think it's an owl. Like the plague. Wiping something out. Yeah, it looks more like an owl, but it kind of looks like the plague masks that they used to wear. If you think about it, if you were wearing one of those masks, you were protected, and nobody else was. Because only the doctor had the fucking masks, usually. They thought it was the herbs that was saving them, but actually it was like the filtration system would put the herbs in the beak to stop the smell. The germs would get caught in that and they wouldn't breathe it in, basically. But the science behind it's kind of cool. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. If you think about it, being in a position of power, you're protected. Nobody else was. What's weird too is that crown looks very similar to like Jesus's thorny crown, but not quite. But not quite. Because he's depicted with it like blood dripping down his head because the thorns were like so sharp and poking his skin, cutting his skin. These thorns are fucking dull as shit. This person's protected. It's that mentality of, I'm right there with you. I'm struggling too. We're in this together. This person isn't in any hot water. They're not feeling the stress, the struggle. They're not dealing. No, they're not. They're not walking alongside you. They're telling you where to go. Without saying it. Because this person isn't like, you have to do this, because no one would fucking follow. There's a tactic here. Oh, shit. That's scary. What was that? I'm not a religious person. Maybe I should be more knowledgeable in different faiths and stuff, but I think it's Christianity and stuff, where I don't know, where the devil comes back as a leader or to take... I think it has to do with the rapture. Well, don't hold me to any of that, but it's something like that where it's like the devil comes is reincarnated. I was just talking about, like, Unleash the Beast. Okay, this reading took a fucking weird ass turn. Sorry, it's not going to resonate with everyone. Some of you will understand exactly what I'm talking about. Because, like I said, it's not just within the US. This is, like, worldwide shit. It's happening all over the place. Or it is. The grooming phase is upon us. It has been. Learn as much as you can, because something's coming where you're gonna need that knowledge. So if you're drawn, regardless of what I said about that fucked up leader in that situation, it will affect the masses, but if you're drawn to something specific, pay attention to what you're being drawn to, like what knowledge you all of a sudden want to know. Like oh, I want to know how to make candles, but not going to the store and buying wax. How did they make it back in, the 1700s, 1800s, whatever? How'd they make it back then? Or how do I preserve food without a freezer or refrigerator or whatever? How do I hunt? How do I, skin a deer or whatever? I don't know. If you're thinking of not just survival stuff, because that's in here, but if you're not just thinking about that, medicine, herbal medicines, like, okay, now we can't just go to the pharmacy or the store and buy aspirin, Tylenol, whatever. What herbs cure those ailments, help those ailments? I'm going to need to know this when I can't get those things. No matter what it is, if you're drawn to it, learn it. Because you're drawn to it for a reason. For self-preservation is what I heard. Love you guys. Peace.